Hi there, welcome to this video where I'm going to give you a full tour of the Marella Voyager cruise ship. This morning we're waking up to a lovely sunrise over the Mediterranean on the Marella Voyager cruise ship. Now we've cruised with Marella 5 times in total and we really love the experience. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you around the ship and show you the sights and tell you why we really enjoy our cruising.
So let's have a look at some of the cabins on board Voyager. This is cabin 4070 and this is a typical inside cabin with no window. These can be found on decks 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 and 12. They've got plenty of storage in the wardrobes and they're still very comfortable. There's a safe behind the mirror. This is a typical bathroom. In most cabins they are laid out very similarly to this until you get to the really expensive ones that I'll show you later. All of the showers have a glass shower screen. And this is a very similar outside cabin. The only difference with this is there's a window. Then we move up to a balcony cabin. This is cabin 9204. So there is a balcony outside and this is what a standard balcony looks like. Then a large balcony cabin. This is set up as a twin room, but those beds can be pushed together. In this one, the balcony, as you can see, is a little bit larger. Then we move to a corner cabin at the back of deck 10. And this overlooks the back of the ship, and because it's on the corner you get a larger balcony than all of the rest of the cabins that are at the back of deck 10. And then finally we move up to a junior suite. Now this is quite an expensive cabin, so you get a larger cabin area and a really large balcony just here. There's lots of space out here and you do get suite service as well, so it just feels a little bit more luxurious. And this is the first time that there's a real difference with the bathroom. There's just a little bit of a bigger shower.
We're now in the main buffet on board the ship and it's called the kitchens. Now Marella have done something different with the buffet on board Voyager and it's quite a different concept for them. I'm going to show you around and then I'm going to give you my opinion on it. In the kitchens there are themed stations, so at the moment we're looking at the refreshment area so you can get coffees and juices, and then over here at the moment, because we're set up for breakfast, this area has fruit and cold meats, but in the evenings there's ice cream and desserts on this section. At lunchtime and in the evening, the gravy boat serves traditional English food. You can get Yorkshire pudding wraps and pork baps and then other very traditional English food. At the moment, again, it's set up for breakfast, so there's a full English on offer. At lunchtime and in the evening, Bamboo is Chinese themed, and at the moment you can get a selection of omelettes made to order. The pastry crust normally offers different kinds of pies, and at the moment we're still just serving full English breakfast here. We've got a salad area as well, and then the pantry at the moment is serving breakfast rolls. Athena's is a Greek themed area, and the Banyan Leaf serves curries and Indian type food. We've been on board for nearly a week now and I must admit that the concept of the kitchens did take a little bit of getting used to, but after experiencing it for a while I must say that I really like it. There's great choice, so everything is geared towards an English palate, so it's very familiar, and contrary to what I saw on a different YouTube video, there is variety. It isn't always an identical menu. Now it is very similar, but one night there might be a chicken tikka masala and the following night it might be a korma, and the same in the Chinese area and other areas, so it does vary, but it is fairly consistent throughout the week, so you get the same style, and that's I think what they may have been referring to, or they didn't hear very often. The biggest difference to a traditional buffet is that there is somebody serving you rather than you serving yourself. yourself. Now this does take a little bit of getting used to, but you can take your plate to different stations and have a mixture of foods, and you can always ask the server to put more on if they haven't given you enough. The only downside that I found is sometimes there's only one server behind the counter, and so the queues are a little bit longer, but they soon go down, and if the queue is building up, generally speaking, another server or two turn up to take the slack. So overall, after a little bit of getting used to, I do really like the new style of buffet here on board Voyager. If sunbathing is all important to you and you do just want to grab a quick snack, on the pool deck here is a snack shack, so you can get burgers and chips. We had some great donut balls from here the other day. Then also additionally, if you're on the pool deck and want to grab a snack, these fridges here during the day are full of sandwiches and other little snacks. At the back of the ship on deck 11 behind the kitchens are two extra restaurants. This one is called Nonnas, and here they serve different types of Italian food, so you can make your own pasta or pizza. And then on the other side of the atrium there's Abuela's, and here they serve Mexican themed food such as guacamole, nachos and burritos. I'm stood here at the moment in Latitude 53, which is the main restaurant on board ship. It's part of the all-inclusive package, and here all of the food is waiter served, and so you can have a 3-course meal of really good quality. We've been here a couple of times, and also just be aware that this is the home of Vista as well, which is an Italian themed restaurant, still waiter served, and has a different menu if you fancy something slightly different.
While you're on board, if you do fancy treating yourself to some extra special food, there are some specialty restaurants. Now do be aware that these are not part of the all-inclusive package and do incur a surcharge. The first is Platter. Here you can get a mixture of wine and cheese. Then you've got Kora. Now Kora has a mixture of Chinese and Indian food with added flavours of Thai, Vietnamese and Japanese.
I'm standing at the moment in the Silver Fort, which is the most exclusive restaurant on board ship. Now here, as well as the dining in the evening, you can also visit the afternoon tea, which is a musical special. So you'll get singers singing extracts from shows such as Wicked or Cats and many others, and it's a bit of an experience if you're into that kind of thing.
Then there's Surf and Turf, which, as the name suggests, is a mixture of meat and fish. While we were on board, we did eat at Surf and Turf, and I have to say that it was well worth every penny that we spent on it. The waiting staff was so attentive, and the food was absolutely brilliant. I had a steak, and my wife had a mixture of lobster and salmon for our main courses, but everything was just done with a lot of flair, and it was really, really enjoyable.
I'm sitting here in Flutes, which is one of the many bars on the ship, and here they specialise in Prosecco's and bubbles, so much so that there's some buttons on the wall here behind you. You just press for bubbles and a waiter will come and take your order. Now we came last night and we had some Prosecco here, and my wife is a little bit of a connoisseur and she said it was excellent.
Hidden away on deck 8 is the Exchange. Now in here, hidden behind these telephone box doors, is a very quirky little bar. Now sometimes during the week there is entertainment on here that is free, but they also put on a show called The Heist and The Lock-In that you do have to pay a supplement for, and they are very interactive. But while you're in here there are specialty cocktails that can't be got anywhere else on board the ship, and so it's just an interesting little place that very few people know about.
Here at the top of the ship are the electric rooms. Now if you want to try your hand at some roulette, some cards or some gaming machines, here's where you'll find them. Over to my right is the disco, so keep an eye out for the silent disco because that is really good fun. We're coming to one tonight. And there is a bar as well. It's really great in here because you get great views over the front of the ship through the big windows behind the camera. And last night we had one of the famous Marella smoking cocktails. The Art House is a really good place to come for a relax or a drink, and it's set up with these really quirky covered chairs that just add a little bit of fun to the place. Here at the back of the ship is the Squid and Achor. This is set up like a British pub to make people feel really at home, but there's lots of activities happen here during the day and in the evening, so you can find things like bingo, live musicians, quizzes taking place throughout the day, and it's really a hub of activity. Nestled between Abuelas and Nonnas is the summer house here at the back of the ship on deck 11, and there is this covered roof that will retract if the weather's nice enough, but it's a very comfortable space to come and sit and have a drink. Here at the back of the ship on deck 11 is a covered area. This is a great place to bring a drink, to watch a sunset, or the boat sail out of a port. At the moment it's quiet because we're only at about 20 to 8 on a sea day, but it's going to get a lot busier later on as people start to make the most of this glorious weather.
One of our favourite bars to drink in during the week was Aperitif. Now this is situated just outside the specialty restaurants, but you don't have to be eating there to drink in this bar, but they also serve a lot of the specialty gins and whiskies and Prosecco's that are available on the premium package. While you're on board, many of the drinks are included in the all-inclusive package, but you can choose to upgrade to a premium package, and if you do this you get access to a lot better quality drinks. So the wine and Prosecco is a lot better, but you also get soft drinks in cans, upgraded cocktails, premium spirits, and access to coffee from the coffee port without having to pay a supplement for it. So if you've not upgraded to premium and you want a drink from the coffee port, then there is a supplement for that. If you did fancy pampering yourself while you're on board Voyager, then you can visit the spa. Here you'll find a nail and hair salon. Then there are a couple of different saunas. One is a mixed herb sauna to get a nice aroma, and then there's a traditional sauna which is a lot hotter and the heat comes from burning coals. After your sauna you can visit the cold showers, where they will give you a shock to the immune system going from the hot to the cold. There's a bucket where you can pull a rope for dispensing the cold water, and there's even a supply of ice if you really want to add that to the bucket as well. There are several steam rooms that can be used for opening pores and sinuses, and one called the Razzle has a heated bed that's inspired by a Turkish bath. There are heated seats for relaxation after a sauna, and heated foot baths which are really good after a day's walking. There are lots of treatment rooms if you're looking for a massage. Then after your treatments there is a cool, quiet relaxation room and an exclusive sun lounge. If you're interested in any of the treatments, here is an indication of the prices and the packages available. This is correct at the time of filming, but if you're interested in any treatments while you're on board, pop into the spa and I'm sure they'll be happy to help.
One of the things that we really like when we're on board TUI ships are these interactive touchscreens, because you never need to get lost. All you need to do is touch the screen, it springs into life and it instantly shows you a map of where you are on the ship. But not only that, it also provides a wealth of information about things like menus and all the restaurants, information about the ports that you're going to go in, and it's literally like using a mobile phone. You just touch the screen and it gives you the information. But not only that, you can also download an app onto your mobile phone that mirrors everything that's on here. Now this app is free of charge. You just connect to the ship's Wi-Fi and you don't need to pay for the Wi-Fi package either. It's all part of the experience to just give you as much information as possible. And one handy tip is to use the app to give feedback, because it really does help the ship. Here on deck 5, opposite reception, is destination experiences. So if you're going ashore while you're on board ship, then you can visit the staff here to find out things that you can do, or you can book excursions as well.
Next we'll visit the Broad Street shops, so if you're looking for something For yourself, a family member or friend to take home with you, I'm sure you'll find something here. Then there are lots of different jewellery shops, so if you've got a particular style in mind, you're bound to find something that will take your fancy. There are 2 outlets that sell watches, and here you'll find experts on hand to give you advice on your purchase. Then there are handbags from well-known brands and a range of fragrances and beauty products as well. Finally, there's a range of women's and men's clothes available from well-known brands, so you can check those out and keep an eye out for the sales that take place throughout the week. You'll find them outside the shops, and there's some real bargains to be had. On the first night, you'll be welcomed on board with a sail and shine party, and then throughout the week there's plenty of entertainment from dancers and the bands on board ship. There's many varied styles that will keep you entertained in all the different bars, and then we had a special treat at the end of the cruise where all the bands came together for one mass performance.
If you do need to work off a few of the extra pounds you've put on with the all-inclusive buffet, then you can visit the gym.
In the gym there are lots of different cardio machines to help with your workout, also lots of varieties of weight training machines, and then there is a studio as well where you can take part in yoga or spinning classes.
On deck 12, circling the pools, is a running track. Now if you fancy a little bit of morning exercise, 12 laps around this track is equivalent of 1 sea mile, or 1.15 miles in our money. On the pool deck there are several pools and whirlpools as well that you can enjoy in the sun. At the moment it's quite quiet because we're quite early in the morning, but I'm sure before long this will get really busy. Down here on deck 6 is a Promenade Deck. Now this is a really good place to come if you want a little bit more peace and quiet away from the hullabaloo of the pool deck where there's usually music or some kind of activity going on. Here you can still get the fresh air and the sun, but it's a lot quieter and more relaxed. There are still seats and sun lounges available, but we prefer it here just because it's a little bit quieter. If you did fancy watching a film when you're on board, maybe on one of the sea days, then there is a really comfortable cinema here on deck 6. Now if you've managed to drag your teenage child onto a cruise, then there is a space for them here on deck 12 at the Hideout. This is for 12 to 17-year-olds, and in the Hideout there are bean bags and seats, air hockey, they play music, and it's just a space for teenagers to group together.
Here at the back of the ship on deck 9 is the M Club. It's a space for younger children. The Mini M Club caters for children under 3 years, and the M Club caters from children from 3 to 11, and they run a range of activities throughout the day.
Here right at the top of the ship is an area known as a Varanda, and there are sunbeds and lounges about here that you can come and lie on, enjoy the sun, and there's also a windbreak all the way around so you don't get buffeted by the wind. Now if you've got a little bit of time to kill, you can pop here to the back of deck 12 for a little bit of nautical themed mini golf. Also on deck 12 is a sports court that's surrounded by a net where you can come for a kick around or a little game of basketball. And what cruise ship would be complete without its table tennis table? Here at the front of the ship, spread over deck 6 and 7, is the Broadway show lounge, and at night time you can find shows taking place here by the show team, and tonight there's even a magician that's being brought onto the ship as well. So there's lots of entertainment. They usually do 2 shows a night, and they are really talented performers.
We've been on 4 of the 5 Marella cruise ships, and they all feel very familiar while having their own identities, but we really do like them. We feel we get great value for money from the food, the drink, the entertainment and the ship themselves. Now the highlight of all Marella cruises have to be the staff. They're always smiling, friendly and eager to please and are dedicated to providing a great experience. On the last night of the cruise, representatives from all departments of the ship make an appearance in the show lounge to wish the guests a safe journey. We're already planning our 6th cruise with Marella.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed that video of my tour around the Marella Voyager, and if you have, then you can do me a really big favour and click subscribe, the like and the bell notifications, and also share this video with all your friends. Now, you can also check out my other videos of the Marella cruise ships. I'll put links for those down below in the description, but all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.